The relationship between a parent and their child can be rocky. When you're a child, you look to your parent for everything. They're your hero, they can do no wrong, and then they let you down for the first time. Or you realize that they lied to you for the first time. They didn't tell you the truth. You watch them abuse themselves for the first time. You watch them get abused. And from that moment, your image of them begins to change. A new awareness begins to kick in where you see that your parent isn't Superman or Superwoman. You see that your parent is flawed. You now know you may not be able to depend on them for everything. You may not be able to trust them with everything. You may have to let them go. It doesn't matter how hard you try or who you love or what you gave or what they give. The relationship may not be able to be repaired. Hey everybody, and welcome to the podcast. This is Nishanta, and the podcast is Lead in Love. My prayer for you is truly that you live the life you want to live. Take the lead in your own life and love yourself in the process. I'm praying for you. I pray for you, and please pray for your girl. All right, now back to the broadcast. I remember the first time that I realized that my parents were human beings. I was very young, and I realized that there was something off. There was something going on. They had made a mistake. It was like I was awake in a different way. I began to see things in a different way, and I was still very young. So I had one foot in, one foot out of awareness, but it was clear. I remember this day like it was yesterday, like it was today, just a few minutes ago. And what I know now is that that moment was a foundational part of the person that I am today, of my personality, how I go about things, the way that I do things. That was one of the foundational blocks that's in there as far as how I interact, how I look at the world, how I see. And as I began to grow and develop, there were more of these moments that created my awareness. Now, I truly believe that as you go through life and you become exposed to different type of interactions, that in essence will develop your path. It's kind of like a clean slate. Just think of you're in a field. You're standing there, all the grass is up high. One thing happens in this direction and the grass gets cut, so you begin to take that path. Another thing happens, same direction, grass gets cut, you take that path. Something else happens in another direction, grass gets cut. You could take that path or you could stay where you are. Your path is designed and built off of your experiences. The bulk of these experiences, especially your foundational experiences, come from your family, your bloodline. Who raised you? There's generational blessings and there's generational curses. Everybody talks about the generational curses, but honest to God, the only way you're going to get rid of generational curses is to let it go. I didn't do it that way. I was following the path of those foundational experiences. I was basically following a generational curse, working hard every day to an end that didn't make me happy, not having enough trust in God and faith in myself, or faith in God and trust in myself, or however you want to remix it, to lead my own life. So as promised, though, let's take the good with the bad, because you have the generational curses, but you always have the generational blessings. So let's get positive real quick. Let's have a moment of positivity, because there are so many things that we can be thankful for that's come from our parents, from our bloodlines, that we'll pass on to our kids. Are you smart? Are you witty? Are you funny? In your life, you are blessed. This may be a foundational blessing, like something that you learned from your family or something that you inherited through the bloodline from your family and your ancestors that you have no control over, but that has magnified your life to these extreme and wonderful and beautiful circumstances. Focus on that. Stay right there in that energy. Because when negative things come up, whether it belongs to a generational curse or whether it's just something that you got to go through, you have to have positivity and self-belief and a sense of good feelings and warmth within yourself for yourself so you can overcome all of these things, all of these curses. They say that there's the curse of greatness, right? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I don't believe that to be true. There are difficult times. You will have to make difficult decisions. You will have to go about your life in a certain way that brings order and specificity to certain situations. But you do not have to live in anguish. You do not have to live in lack. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about lack of freedom, lack of vitality, lack of fun, lack of being lighthearted. You don't have to live in that. Watch your curses. Watch your generational curses, because I'm telling you, your generational curse can be defeated quite easily by whatever your generational blessing is. That's it. Go back and do the thing that you can do. Minimum effort, maximum results. Go back and do that thing. This is why hobbies are so important, because a hobby, and stay with me here, I know, but just listen. A hobby is quite literally just trial and error about what it is that you really like, what you want to do. Do you crochet? Do you make music? Do you talk? Do you do art? Do you skateboard? Do you ride bikes? Do you hike? Do you go for walks? Like, a hobby is quite literally the thing that you do for fun to take your mind off of the pressures of the everyday world. This also applies to if you're trying to quit a smoking habit, if you're trying to kick smoking, if you're trying to stop biting your nails, if you're trying to stop doing whatever it is, that thing that has a negative hold on you, whatever that particular curse is, be it generational or not. And see, here's the thing. Once you've mastered any one thing, you can master life, because you will apply that thing that you mastered to all the undertakings in your life, and you'll understand it better. God's people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So when you don't know what's going on, or you can't understand it, you can't point out that generational curse, then that's where the trouble comes in. We never question our blessings. We never seek to figure it out. We never want to find, we never try hard, because it's something that's positive. It's good. We always focus on the negative. I'm telling you right now, and this is a surprise to me, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm telling you right now, focus on both. You got to focus on the generational blessing, because that's what's going to help you directly combat your generational curse. Hone your skills. Figure out what it is that you can do, so when people say your name, they're like, oh yeah, they can do that. And it don't even matter what. There's a list of spiritual blessings. Even patience is a spiritual gift. And trust me, everybody ain't got it. Long suffering is a spiritual gift. Everybody ain't got it. A spiritual gift is just a generational blessing. It's something that you got from the rip, from scratch. Like in your stock DNA, when they was like, all right, mix this up and call it Nishanta. Mix this up and call it, insert your name here. This is what you got. And so now you actually need to hone that, because these generational curses are coming. If you are hearing the sound of my voice right now, you're either in it right now or it's on the way. You got to combat it. You got to figure it out. There's a scripture that talks about the armor of God. And again, whether you read the Bible or you don't, that's okay, because you can apply the lessons and the tools. You can say these things as affirmation and cover yourself. The breastplate of righteousness, the shoes of peace, the belt of truth. Like, say these things and know it. Gird yourself in the full armor of God so you can be protected. Because guess what? Generational curses ain't no joke. It's not fun. It's never fun to fail. Failure is never fun. And more importantly, is never fun in front of other people. And so just make sure that in life, you do what you need to do to take care of yourself. You can't run from a generational curse. You can't hide from it. You have to face it head on for you to begin to work on it. You combat your generational curses specifically with your generational blessings. Good luck. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast. Remember to love yourself in life. Take the lead in your own life. You got to do it. It's for you and nobody else. If you want to hear more from me, you can go to my website at www.leadinlove.com. I have a couple of YouTube channels also. The handles are at Lead in Love for the podcast, at Lead in Love Motivational for all the motivational videos from other people like Les Brown, Denzel Washington, Jim Rohn, etc. And then I have Quotes Lead In, which are daily motivational quotes specifically designed for me and my audience, which is you. So do me a favor and subscribe. Do me a favor and check out those things. Most importantly, comment so we can build a rapport, talk back and forth and the like. Okay? All right.